Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Cougar House Garage. In this episode, we're getting started on a 1991 Lincoln Town Car. It's okay, Derek. And we're putting full air ride on it with the stock wheels. Then once it's all done and laid out, it's getting a set of Daytons, so that'll be pretty cool. Don't mind the noise in the background. We got to get it up in there, get these wheels and tires off. So we can strip off the factory suspension. Just a second. Alright, we got it up in the air here. We're going to pull off the wheels and tires. We have to pull out this factory strut and shock so we can do our bag mounts up here. And then on the back, let's see here. I'm going to go around the room here. Okay, and then on the back here, let's see, what do we got to strip out of here? We got to strip off this factory bag mount. And then it's a factory shock mount as well. We're going to make our own. And then we can get everything ready to go ahead and set up. Once all the factory components are stripped out of it, then we can start setting up the axle side bag mount and the upper side bag mount, and actually setting up and putting together our bag mounts how we want them to be, so that way when they're fully aired down and compressed, aired out, the wheel will be up there, so that way the frame will lay on the ground, or tucked up enough so the frame will lay on the ground. So, but all right, guys, let's get started. Let's tear it down. Alright guys, Levi and I got the car torn down. We got the front coil springs taken out, the front shocks, the rear bags, OE bags, the rear shocks. Got it all ready. We lowered it there, took some measurements to see how low that we can get it to go without making, you know, extensive frame modifications or lower control arms or stuff like that. So here's all our parts we got from AVS, everything here. We got some airlift dominator, 2600 bags. We got Vire dual 480C kit. I like the black stuff, it looks really cool. And then we got their Evolve unit here with their switch controller without E-level. We're doing a classic air system on this car with 3/8 line. We got our cups and our pieces for rear axle and our cups. We got an air tank here. I don't need to unwrap that. Y'all know what an air tank looks like. So we're gonna, now that we got it to here, I need to pick up some 8-inch pipe to do some customization to the lower control arms and something to the frame section there. So we're gonna go ahead and move forward and get a bracket made up to mount the air tank in the trunk here, the compressors, the valve unit, kind of just mock that all up and start putting together a little plate so that way all this can be bolted to a plate and then that can be bolted in the back of the trunk. So be nice to take that in and out instead of just having nut certs in the floor or self-tappers or anything weird like that. We want to do it nice and clean. And then we also got just our 7 switch here, just nothing crazy, you know, so we can just go up, down, whatever. Nothing too complicated here, guys. We also got, you know, just their little wiring kit, their fuses and whatnot, and their relay. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and get all this, we'll get the air tank opened up, get these opened up, and then go ahead and start making up a, I guess you'd call it a valve unit air compressor plate, something like that. Air tank plate. But yeah, let's do it, guys. Cue the music. Be lazy about the entertainment here. Oh, tank fittings, it says. See everybody? Tank fittings. Alright guys, here's the start of our air tank compressor valve unit plate. We're getting it marked out, you know, our pieces. It's square on this bottom edge here. So we're going to just mark our holes, Sharpie mark them, and then we'll transfer this over to a piece of 3/16. And then I'm going to also make it raised, so it's like, you know, raised off the floor like 3/4 of an inch to an inch. I'm going to cut out cut some little feet out of some 3/4 inch DOM tubing. Put it on there, hole saw the top, so there'll be a hole in the top plate, and then weld a little piece on the bottom of the DOM with a hole in that, so the 4 feet can mount this in the trunk on top of the parcel shelf in the trunk in the Lincoln here. And we're doing this because the plasma table, something happened to it. The software, like the handheld control unit, isn't accepting the software or the tool pass. I'm writing to it and it's moving the origin to a weird spot on the table. It's not functioning right, so we're doing this way, kind of old school for this, something really simple that we can do it to, so we can kind of keep moving forward, and then I can have some time to figure out what's wrong with the plasma table. So, which is never fun. It's never a good time figuring out if something's wrong with the plasma table and troubleshooting it. It really sucks. But alright, we're going to get this all put together here, or marked out and whatnot, so we'll be ready to transfer it over to a piece of metal. And then we'll see where we get here in this episode. Let's continue. Hey guys, picking up where we left off yesterday. I got the air tank exchanged, so we're ready to, or the welder air tank. I got that exchanged, so we're ready to go ahead and weld on the rear bag cups and the axle side bag mount, get that welded on, and then we'll get that painted and we'll get the rear bags installed, and then we can go ahead and get into routing the air line. We need to route the power wire from the battery back to the compressors that will actually, give the compressors their power, route that back to the 100 amp relay. And then we got to run our wire from our Evolve valve unit from it in the trunk up underneath the back seat up to underneath the front seat, so we can hook that up to the AVS switch unit there that plugs in, runs the bags and stuff. So we'll get that set up, and then we need to get that plugged in, and then also we can paint the compressor, bracket, tank mount, where the Evolve valve unit mounts on. We can get that painted with some Steel-It and get, and then before that we'll get feet painted, welded onto it, and get little washers welded on the bottom, so that'll have its mounts to mount the trunk. And then we get that painted with Steel-It, and then we'll get the compressors and the tank and the valve unit all mounted on that and get that in the trunk. But we'll see where we get to, guys. Let's get started and let's get a bunch of stuff installed on this Lincoln. Cue the music.
Sun is out here overseas. Dark emotions ever torn so deep, falling down through the clouds. I'm feeling you. Stay away from me. You keep haunting me.
Alright guys, this is where we're at. We got pretty far actually. So as you guys saw, we got the rear bag mounts in and welded in. We got the left side all done up here. We got it all painted, looking good. This side, Derek's got the top welded. He's just got to finish up the bottom lower plate, axle side there. And then as you guys saw, Levi's got these lower bag plates fitted in. We got the thing trimmed out how we want them. There's going to be more material removed. This is just our first fitment. And then, like I said before, we're going to get Airlift Dominator 2500s. They're a little bit more narrow than the 2600s. These will squish out to like 8, where the 2500s are like, will squish out to 6 or 7. So they're like a 6-inch bag. So it'll fit a lot better in this old coil space here. So now that that's all buttoned up, I'm going to have Levi take this out and paint it up nice. Got this all welded. We'll sand that a little bit and then Scotch-Brite it, and then we'll paint that with Steel It, and then that will be ready to mount the Evolve air unit on the back of, and the compressors over here, this stuff. Get the valve unit here mounted, get the black compressors mounted, and the air tank. So we're going to go ahead and get that done, and then get that installed in the trunk and nut-cert the trunk, install that, have that stuff all mounted, and then we're going to go ahead and move on to routing the airline and the wiring for the Evolve valve unit and the switch pad and its pieces. So let's continue working, guys. Let's get this stuff installed. Let's do it. Cue the music. Alright guys, we got the Lincoln laid down so we can go ahead and install the Evolve dual compressor wiring kit here through ABS. And then we got their harness here that will go from the Evolve unit up to the switch module right here, this part. We'll plug into that part, and then we got our 7-position switch right here from ABS. And our 3/8 DOT line. So we're going to go ahead and mount all this. We're going to peel up the carpet on each side of the car and the rocker. We're going to run the air line and this wiring under there. We're going to run the wiring actually underneath the back underneath the back seat cushion up to in between the 2 front seats, and then this will mount under there, and then we'll have the controller come up through it. So that'll be pretty cool. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this opened up and get this stuff installed on the Lincoln. Let's do it.
All of the
Alright guys, that's it for this episode of Cougar House Garage and this episode of working on the Lincoln. You know, we got pretty far. We got the rear bag cups, the upper ones welded on. We got the axle side bag mounts welded on. We got them painted. Nice black, looks good. Just painted them. And then we were able to move on to routing the air lines. We routed them along the frame rail on the driver's side, routed it along the fuel lines and stuff, zip tied that on nice, and then routed it underneath the cross member, underneath the engine with the brake lines over to the other side. So we just routed them down the driver's side nice. Got that done, and then we routed the power wire from the battery all the way back to the 100 amp Evolve relay that turns on the air compressors. And then Levi and I routed the airline, or the wiring harness that goes from the valve unit from the trunk area up underneath the back seat, underneath the carpet, underneath the front of the middle of the front seats there, and then we plugged that in the little Evolve switch unit box, and then we ran that up and then set the switch unit on the seat, so that's where that'll live, and it'll have a little 4-foot cord so you can move it wherever you want to. So that'll be pretty cool. You know, I didn't hook up the 12 volt, the switched accessory in the ground yet for that, and then hooked in the little, there's like a little fuse box harness adapter that plugs in a fuse spot, and then you can hook the fuse onto the other side of it. And then that'll give me our accessory wire to turn on the valve unit, you know, and kick the compressors on and get everything going when you turn the car on. So we got, I didn't hook those up, but I got it sitting there ready to hook up tomorrow. And then as well, we got the I'd say, what would I call it, the Evolve valve unit compressor tank bracket or stand. We got that painted up really nice with Steel-It. Looks really good. That's drying, so we'll get that. After that's dry, we'll mount the Vire compressors on it, the tank, and the Evolve valve unit, and then we'll get that mounted in the trunk. I need to go get a nut cert tool. I have the 12 mil size nut certs, but I don't have the a little threaded piece that goes into the nut cert tool that grabs onto the threads of your nut cert. So I need to get one of those for the larger size ones. It's really cool. Just on tomorrow before work. And then I need to get, we're waiting for the airline fittings for the bags themselves. We're waiting for the front Airlift Dominator 2500s and the smaller 4.5 inch bag cups for up front. You know, because I got 5.5 inch ones and the larger size Dominator 2600s, but they're just a little bit big for the space we're working in, so we want to go ahead and downsize. So as soon as that stuff shows up here, guys, we'll finish up the Lincoln here. We'll get it all laid out. We'll show you guys what it looks like. We'll drive it around a little bit, and we'll finish up this episode or this couple days here working on the Lincoln. So that'll be pretty cool, and we'll move back on to the next project that's coming in. So that'll be pretty cool. But anyways, guys, hey, thanks for watching today. Thanks for your constant support, as always. If you guys like this kind of content with the Lincoln and whatnot, just let me know in the comment box. Hit the bell up there so you guys get notifications when I upload a new video. And if you guys like Cougar House Garage, you like what we do, check us out at cougarhousegarage.com. Check us out at Facebook/Cougar House Garage. And we're at Cougar House Garage on Instagram, guys. Follow along there on the daily story that I'm really active on, and to keep up with all the projects before YouTube. And we'll catch you guys in the next episode.